Hey everybody, welcome back. What an intro that is. Big shout out to Archie for that promo video for the Mafia map coming up. Of course, the Don of Dons, the head of the directorate, 4 powerful families playing on Pulse Chain Mafia and BNB Mafia, and of course, potentially on Base Chain and Solana as well coming up. Yeah, Mafia Metaverse launches in less than 3 days. We're going to talk about that. Get property rich. So we're going to have a look a bit at the metaverses that are available at the moment, thinking about Decentraland from the previous bull market and X and Infinity. We're going to have to check out some of that, but we're going to be looking at Mafia, first metaverse on Pulse Chain. So a big deal. And of course, probably going to be easily the number one GameFi in this bull market for Pulse Chain as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Get into the chat there, folks. If you're in the directorate, it is the number one family. As you guys know, I am the consigliere there. The Don of the family, of course, is Archie, the smartest, most feared man in the game already, and the game's not even fully launched. Big shout out to Max Payne, of course, our Capodicina, the third of the 3 leaders in this directorate. And of course, big shout out to him, does an amazing job on Telegram onboarding. So if you do onboard today or in the days ahead, then that's the person you'll be dealing with, Max Payne and his team. He is the Capodicina. So pretty exciting. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're going to get into a lot of stuff. Let us know what you've been doing in Mafia game in the chat here. If you're buying crates or whatever you've been doing, getting ready for the Mafia land grab, you're going to need keys for that. So get in the chat there for that as well. If you do join the directorate, you'll be able to participate with us in the things that we are doing to get the advantage in the game. So feel free. We'll post that as we come up. But once again, get in the chat there and make it lively, folks. That's probably the way we're going to go there. So let me just check out some stuff here. Looking pretty good. So just checking some numbers here. Looking pretty good there. So let us get into it. And let me pull up another spreadsheet here. Let's go for gold. All right, so if you are watching this after the live stream, leave a comment and I'll get back to that as well. So without further ado, let's check out the Pulse Mafia. It just had a recent update, a scheduled maintenance, so it's now back in the list. Let's add that in and let's share the screen on that one. So bam. All right, so we've got the video in play. And let's go for gold. Look at these formats, crazy formats there. They kind of look like the new Superman promo. I don't know about that. What do you guys reckon? We got Yoshi in the house there. Yo Foshi, the director is number one. Certainly is number one, that's for sure. Dollar stuck in the bridge right now, waiting for those transactions. Was it 78 transactions, something like that, over the Pulse Chain bridge, something like that. Trying to buy more Pulse Mafia. Says just trying to front run all the speculators. Nice move there. But you're going to need Pulse Mafia. You're going to need Mafia on Pulse Chain and BNB to be able to, stake with your land or something like that. I think it's got uses like that. So definitely well worth checking out there. All right. Let's see where I'm up to here. We're going to go to the prices here. Well, actually, we're on the Pulse Mafia site. So if you want to join the family, that is the family that's there for Pulse Mafia. Let me just key up here. We're warming up into this coverage of Pulse Mafia. That is pulsemafia.io. The site there, it's so cheap to become a player. You can become a player very easily on the player list. You can see all the top players from top to bottom in terms of their worth at the moment. That's going to change around a lot when we start playing the game. You can see all the families at the moment. There are 20 families or more, aren't there? 20 more? 22 families, can you believe it, on the Pulse Chain. Crazy numbers. So really impressive there. 22 families you can be on. Obviously, the director is number one. We have the number one alliance, the director. Gears of War is the number 2. I don't think there's any other allegiances or alliances around. And in the directorate, we've got the Yakuza, the Syndicate, and the Hustlers in the directorate. And we control 3 out of the 5 paid spots. So you're in the winning team straight away. And of course, pretty exciting to see that. Now, the Gearheads and the Salamancas are actually 2 different families, but they're part of the same allegiance there in the Gears of War, along with Deadites and the Mugnails Reloaded. So it's going to be interesting to see that, whereas we are really centralized. So that is a strength that you're going to find in the game. All right, so that is pretty much it. Let's get into the big news, of course, actually, let's do a bit of a summary of the game before we get into things that are coming up. So that is the family list at the moment. Let's get into the how much is in the vault. So the vault's obviously one of the main ways of earning if you're in the top 5 spots, and we've got 6.23 billion pulse in at the moment with 446,000. So if pulse, does a 2.5x, we're over $1 million of pulse in there. So that gives you some idea of where this game will be heading during the bull market. Remember, we're just altcoin season, really just starting to tease us. We've got a bit of a bear trap pullback in Bitcoin at the moment. But have no fear, the Christmas rally is coming. It's going to be near. Is that rhyming? I don't know. So at the moment, of course, we've had the latest updates have been the exchange. We had this conversion thing where you can convert stuff that you open up in crates, in-game assets, into in-game cash. That's been very popular. We had over-the-counter where you can put offers up. You can swap one asset and hopefully someone trades with you, picks up the other assets. That's been popular. And of course, keys, a big way of getting keys with bonuses has popped up in ahead of the land grab, right? So the more dollars you put in, the extra bonuses you are going to participate in. So it's a big deal. Alternatively, you can pick up one key at a time and open up in-game assets. But I think you're going to find a lot of people will be trying to open up these get keys for the map coming up in a couple of days' time. We're going to look at that in a minute. So at the moment, some of the top premium categories, obviously, is OG NFTs. We've got keys and Mafia, still 38 million Mafia remaining, and not a lot of that has been won over the period of time. But let's get to the big news there, I think. And the marketplace. So the primary market is the crates. You open up crates. That's the primary way of doing it. $20 for a key, and you can then open up a crate, right, and get one of these in-game assets. The other way is the secondary market, is where you can trade things up you've already opened up in the crates, and you can list them for sale and buy stuff as well. So pretty cool. And you can filter by different types. That's pretty neat. There's obviously the wiki. We're going to look at that in a minute. And of course, buying and selling Mafia. So buying, selling Mafia at the moment, 4.7% buy tax, 16.6% sell tax. You'll remember that. You'll have to have a 5% and 20% slippage respectively. And that is the contract for the Mafia on Pulse Chain. That's kind of the key there. And the price at the moment for Mafia, let's have a quick look at that. This is the daily chart. You can sort of see it had two big runs, came back down. We've been waiting patiently for the game to launch, of course. It has taken longer than people had expected, but things are starting to move forward now, so that's positive. And we're now sitting at just under 1/1200th of a penny, so huge potential upside for Mafia. Huge. Can't say that enough. And I think Yo Folksha knows what he's doing there, picking up some of that, trying to buy more Pulse Mafia at the moment. So that's pretty cool. So if you want to check that out on Pulse Mafia, that is the chart. Let's post that in as well. And if you want to check out some Mafia front runner speculators, and of course it's going to be needed in the game Mafia. There's only 1 billion Mafia, and a lot of it's staked already, so there's actually not that much running around liquid. But of course you need demand more than supply at any particular point in time to push the price up. So that's the thing to remember. So let's quickly look at the map. The map coming up is 2 days and 18 hours to go. Can you believe it? 2 days and 18 hours to go. That is some crazy stuff right there. 2 days and 18 hours to go. Pretty amazing. So let's have a look here. Bam. Let me just checking up some of the socials over here. Let's see. All right. So that is 2 days and 18 hours to go until the map opens up. But it's going to be a big deal. We're going to check out what that looks like. And that's going to be on Pulse Chain and presumably on Mafia as well. So if we look at Mafia, the countdown is the same. 2 days and 18 hours left to go on bnbmafia.io. So that's coming up. So pretty much that is the countdown. So not far away at all is this countdown. It's a big deal. It's the first Metaverse, the first in-game Mafia map, and it's going to be 3D, which is a big deal to be had. We're going to check out some of that. So let's go quickly to the HQ, and we can actually see here that we've got different things on the map, right? So let's go straight back up the top here, because we've got the map is at stage number 7 of the launch. It's got these big launch phases. We just had the exchange, and we've got the Mafia map coming up, and it's got land tiles, buildings, zones, connectors, raid spots, city developer, vault suspension, city inflation. So you're going to have to get yourself versed with all that. Let's go to the land tiles. It gives you all the details there about land tiles. So user titles, infrastructure titles, environment titles. Gives you an idea of how many there are going to be. So user titles are going to be 750. They're going to be user owned. And how do you get them? Well, you need keys to get them. So you have to get some keys off Mafia, either through the crate page buying keys, or if you want to get all the extra deals, you spend a bit more, and you can go through the exchange and go to keys over here. And like I say, the more you spend, the bigger bonus you get, right? So if you do $500, you're gonna get a 5% bonus. I think if you do 2,000, let's clear that. Let's say you do two. I think it just doubles up. Yeah, so you just double click on these amounts, and it will get it $1,000 will get you 10% more keys. So this is really good because you're getting those bonuses. 2,000 will get 15% more, and let's see, yeah, $5,000 will get you 20% extra keys. So a good way of doing that is obviously participating in families. Join us over in the directorate. So we're going to help you join up with that too. So that gives you an idea. That will give you 300 keys for $5,000. They're $20 each pretty much. But if you get the bonuses, you're going to get 20% extra. So it's really, really useful in terms of getting the land grab, right? So we've got all these tiles. They're only going to be $750. So you can sort of quickly see that a lot of people are going to be after these pretty big. And that's per town. There's going to be town, right? So per town. And I think we're down to 10 towns, something like that. And so infrastructure tiles, no. So 200 to 500, they're pre-placed. Environment title, no. User owned, 200 to 500 of those, they're going to be pre-placed. Business tiles, so you will be able to chance to win a business tile. That would be huge if you do get one. That's got yes there, and that's 10 of those. So you'll be very lucky if you get those. Raid spot title, no. User owned. And farm HQs, no. User owned. There's going to be 8 of those. So it looks like there's 8 cities now. So down to 8. But like I say, business tiles and user tiles are going to be what you're going to be after there with the keys. So let's jump into some of this other stuff here. When you open up, this is what's going to happen. Is you select the city you would like to claim the land in. So when you open up a key, you're going to be able to select the city. So if you're after a particular city, maybe like I don't know, Chicago, then that's what you'd select. You spend 1 key on opening the land crate. That's pretty it. And then a random number generator or an RNG will decide which rarity zone you will get. Obviously, the rarer the better, right? The rarer the better. The second RNG will decide which of the available spots you will get in that rarity zone. So that's going to be important too. Whether it's connected to other spots and other things like that. The last RNG, so it looks like 3 RNGs here, will decide at what development stage you are starting with. And that's going to be massively important too. So the rarer in every class is very important, right? Rare zone, very good strategic spot. And of course, an advanced development stage, more the better, right? That's to make it more valuable. I said in the title of the video, get property rich. Well, that's going to help you get property rich, right? If you end up winning one of those through a random number generator. So it's supposed to be fair that way, right? Very lucky users might get a hotel on a map update day 1, earning you city inflation straight away. Imagine that. You get a hotel straight away on day 1, you'll be earning city inflation straight away. That would be awesome. So if you're looking to make some good crypto gains, that could be a very, very lucrative one for you if that happens, right? So kind of cool. There are many factors that impact the worth of each tile: zones, variants, connectors, and so on. All user owned tiles can be upgraded and built upon. All user owned tiles can be transferred to other users or listed on the marketplace. So they're very flexible in terms of moving around on the blockchain, at least within their centralized stuff. The Mafia map consists of more than 1,000 uniquely designed 1920 style city elements. Everything is custom made and will not exist anywhere else in the Mafia protocol. And you can see here that it's going to be 3D world, right? The 3D and looking pretty realistic too with a lot of the images. Now we know apparently there's well over half a dozen 3D artists working on this game. So it should be pretty impressive. And that's what's actually delayed as far as I understand the game so far. So land tiles, big deal. That is the summary there on that one. Looking at buildings, let's go to buildings. Obviously getting land is very important. That land, that gold rush of land in the metaverse, very important there. When you own a land title, it's about time you get started building on it. So if you don't automatically get a hotel, for example, you could start building on it and developing it. List of upgradable options for user-owned land tile. You can only upgrade to the next level after the delay time has passed. So there'll be delay time in there. If not possible, it's not possible to jump between upgrade levels. All levels have to be passed to reach the final development phase. All upgrade functions will be available when phase 7 of the map goes live. So all upgrade functions will be available when phase 7 the map goes live. So that's what we're expecting, right? So the countdown for the map, of course, is 2 days and 18 hours away. So it's coming up pretty close. Now, here are the upgrade different things. So default plane, you have 1K is to upgrade that. So to get one default plane, you'll get a defense power of 3. That's going to be pretty important when you're defending yourself. And of course, you're part of a family. If you're part of a family, it's going to be pretty important there. No delay for that. Mafia requirement 0. This is where Mafia is going to be really important. So people buying Mafia now, kind of front running this big move to the upside. Remember, there's a lot of it is staked. So if we actually go to the families, we can actually see that families have staked a lot of Mafia. Look, so Yakuza staked 14 million. Gearheads staked 16 million, and so on. So sorry, actually lied on that. 53 million for the Yakuza, 129 million for the Gearheads, 16 million for the Summer Markers, 143 million for the Syndicate, and 6.5 million for the Hustlers. Just in the top 5, Deadites have put 16.5 million in staking, and by doing so, they're earning in-game currency in the bank, right? So that is pretty huge. So you can see a lot of it is sitting staked. There's only 1 billion, remember. So that's a lot of the supply. And so that's going to make having these upgrades where you have to stake Mafia required to do the upgrade. It's going to put more demand on Mafia, which is already pretty scarce. So Shed's upgrade costs 250,000 in-game currency. So in-game currency is going to get more demand, right? So that's going to be important. Now we saw recently with the exchange, we saw the deposit and withdrawal get in place, right? So people can use any of these tokens, Pulse, PulseX, Mafia, whatever, to end up buying in-game cash, right? So you can do that. Let's quickly look at $1,000 of Pulse. So $1,000 Pulse is 13.8 million Pulse, and that's going to get you 50 million cash. So that's kind of the rate there. There's a fee 0.47% that'll be going into the game, right? So important to know. Now you can also do liquidity, and liquidity is withdrawing. So if you've got in-game cash, you want to exit the game, you can put that up at a certain ratio. At the moment, the ratio average is 71, so it's definitely declined relatively speaking. The in-game cash is cheaper at the moment, so 95 is the top ratio. We've got 70, 67. So you can enter that, right? So you put in the amount of cash that you want to have. Let's say you had 10 million cash. That's $166 at the moment at a 71 ratio. Now you're going to be sitting in behind this 95 guy because he's going to get purchased first, right? So that's kind of how that works. So this setup is going to mean that it's going to be more demand for in-game money. As the game runs, of course, there's going to be money coming in and out, the inflation, deflation, and so that's going to be a really key part of the economy of the game. It's going to be really, really cool to see that supply and demand on Mafia, in-game cash, of course, bullets and hearts, which are coming up as well. And pretty impressive. So defense for Shed is 7. Delay is 24 hours between development, and Mafia 10,000. You have 10,000 Mafia required for that. So all upgrade prices are subject to change. This update introduces changes on how you create the family, etc. So you got the defense power there. Defense power is the amount of defense power added to your character by owning the tile in its development. So obviously, the more land you have, the more powerful you become as a player in the game. Attacking someone in the city where they have immense defense power through assets is a tough task. Gangsters can't be at home all times. You might want to plan your attack when your enemy is traveling or out of town. What is the Mafia requirement? Each building stage requires a certain amount of stake Mafia token to operate. You can think of this as an operating cost, all right? The Mafia stake can be ended at any time, and you can reclaim 100% of your Mafia in the building. But what it does is it stakes it and gets it off the market, which is really cool. Remember how many pieces of land there are in each city, 8 cities, with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of land. So you can see a lot of Mafia staked off there. When the building is not in operation, all defense powers are inactive. So that is something for people to consider. To upgrade your tile, you spend in-game currency. There's a one-time deflationary fee that you won't get back. So it's deflating the in-game money supply. Isn't that cool? Really like that. Can you lose your tiles and buildings? Yes, you can. Got to remember that when you are killed, your tile resets to default and is now claimable again through the keys. This creates a deflationary impact on assets inside the protocol. How does my building work together with other assets? That's going to be very important as well. We'll come back to that. So the other ones is house. You can upgrade the house. It's going to cost you $1 million in-game currency. And of course, we can see, these prices won't stay much like this, but at the moment, you can pick up $1 million in-game currency. Let's go back to the deposits. Actually, I might have to refresh here and go back to deposits. And if we wanted to pick up $1 million, I guess we'll just type in there. Don't know if it does it in reverse. Sometimes you're required to put it in the pulse there. So let's do 100. That's going to get you 75. So let's do $50. Sorry, let's see if that comes up. $50 going to get us 2 million. So that's way more than we want at the moment. It's $25. That's going to give us 155,000. Let's say, and so we need 1 million. So let me just rephrase that. So let's do $150. Let's go back to that. $150. That's going to be 8 million. So I guess it just depends on the sell side and the way it's layered together. The tranches, as we might argue. So yeah, so let's do that. Let's go 75 and see what that gets. So obviously you got to go through those tranches. That's going to get 500,000. So as you can see, we've actually got to spend more to go through those tranches. And suddenly we've got a big amount being up for sale. That's why it's jumping so much. So $90 will get you for 5 million that way. But this will probably come far more liquid once the game operates, and there'll be a lot more buying and selling going on, a far more liquid market. So that's 1 million at the moment. So pretty cheap to get those. And of course the Mafia 25,000 at the moment. So if we got the Mafia, we had to get 25,000 Mafia as well. So so we had need in-game currency to do that. Then 25,000 Mafia at the moment is only $30. So there we go. But it could be a lot higher once the game starts roll pumping, right? So that could end up being $300. Who knows, over 10x's, for example. And it'll be different prices on B&B Mafia. So take that into account. There's 2 different games running, right? What else? I've got Villa is 2.5 million in-game currency. Defense power 17. So you're increasing your defense big time there. 48 hours for development and 50,000 Mafia to stake requirements. Office building, 1 key and 5 million in-game currency. And of course, we look at that at the moment. So that's why front running the game is kind of important. $90 will get you 5 million in-game currency at the moment. So that was the price. But what's going to be if the price 10x is right? $900, right? $900. Just take that into account. So yeah, and 100,000 Mafia, right? So we already know 100,000 Mafia on Pulse Chain is already going to be much higher than that. So it's going to be $118. So you got those two costs together, 90 plus 118. That's $210 at the current prices. That's at the current prices to do this upgrade to Office plus a key. So that's over $200, just over $200 there for office building. But your defense there will be 25. And apartment block, 7.5 million in-game currency, power 34 for the defense, and 48 hours as well. Delay time there, 250,000 Mafia there. So we're really starting to move up now. All these in-game costs. So the bigger players are really going to start pushing up asset prices and the Mafia price, right? Because in-game currency is going to go up because people are going to need this for the gold rush. So we're probably going to see some absolute boom in the price there. Going to be pretty crazy. Mansion, 10 million in Mansion. Obviously, people have been accumulating through crates and getting in-game currency that way. So remember, it's not all just people who've got a lot of holdings of in-game cash and stuff at the moment. Take that into account. It's not just going to be contemporary money, but we're going to have a lot of people come into the game, going to help push the price up as well. Mentioned 10 million in game currency for that. And as we looked at the moment, if you're trying to buy that off the market, then what was it, 150? Then again, it's 10 million. Well, it's just gone down to 900, so that's just changed a bit. 200, maybe someone did some buying. I don't know. 200. Let's see here, 500. I don't know, the stuff's moving around a bit there. Let's go to 250. See if that, hopefully that's correct. 200. How much were we trying to buy again? I forgot. 10 million. 10 million, yeah. So that's $200 going to get us 11 million. That says at the moment. So there we go. And you also would need, 250,000 Mafia as well, right? So that's going to be up there too. 250. 1, 2, 3. So that'd be $300. That's once you get up to the stage, of course. So $300 of $500 would be required at the moment to do an upgrade to Mansion with 72-hour delay. Now, obviously, you have to build up to that, and of course, getting those assets now in preparation for that is a smart move, right? Because you're getting much cheaper. Large hotel, 12.5 million in-game currency, and what do you got? 500,000 Mafia. So if we get a large hotel, big deal. Now, that's why I said if you were lucky to open one at the beginning, you're going to get city inflation from that. So there is income from hotels. So that could be pretty epic. Let's jump over to somehow the connected part. How does my building work together with other assets? Having ownership of tiles in combination with each other and in close proximity to your family HQ will greatly improve your defense powers. There are multiple boost features, add extra defense to your tile. It's got connectors in HQ, and let's have a quick look at some of the early 3D images that we've had so far with the building. So that's a little bit of what we might be seeing in the future. But of course, they've had a lot more 3D artists to jump on board as well. So we could have quite a bit of variety coming in play here. And of course, everything is at different development stage. So we're going to see quite a bit of 3D animation is my guess. And of course, don't forget that you can completely move through the whole 3D environment for this Mafia game. So it's going to be pretty cool like that. You're going to be able to go over to your enemy probably and things like that. So it could be pretty fun. Don't forget to get in the chat there, folks. So that is a sort of a highlight there. We've got city zones. Obviously, city zones going to be pretty important in terms of the value and the strength. So we've got common zones, high-end zones, elite zones, strategic zones, defense boosted 10%, 50%, 100%, 10%. So these are all add up, right? And then we've got the average supply, 500, 145, and 4. So you've got to sort of get the rarity of those in play. These zones will also define the graphical look of your development. So that's going to impact the 3D imagery that we see in the Metaverse 3D environment. Each building stage has 3 different variants, so that's cool to see. Based on what zone your tile is positioned, you will get different variant design. There's an effort to create a diverse and natural-looking city. Acquiring an elite tile in the elite zone is based on land claim RNG. So this one here, so remember RNG means random number generator. You cannot simply select that position and purchase it, but if you are lucky enough to receive an elite tile zone, you can choose to list it on the market for sale or build on it for your own use. So you can either spend the capital and build on it and make any money or whatever else it might have, or you can sell it onto the market and make an asset sale, just like in normal stuff. You know, you can be a Donald Trump of this game, for example, and build up a big property portfolio. That's why I said in the title video, get property rich. That's definitely possible there. Wookie says Wookie is not on his game today, says Wookie. Indeed. What else there? So we've got HQ size. This is going to be important for the Dons, people like Don Archie, the Don of Dons. No family can grow in size without having the necessary buildings and tiles to support it. You surely don't want your members to live on the streets, right? So that's going to impact the number of members that you've got in your family, things like that. So the family HQ building gets by default 5 member spaces. So that's something for the HQ, for the Don to think about. Now, connectors, being connected to other parts of your family in a city is going to be pretty important. So that's going to be a strategic aspect to the game. So being next to the right conjunctions and things like that. So location will matter. There's going to be these things called raid spots. Team up with your family members to raid protocol-owned spots. It's difficult and comes with great risks. So it's going to be that's going to come. This will come not be available at the map launch. So that's coming up in the future, not at the map launch. There's city developer. This is going to be a big prize for people with the land grab. Who is going to become the most powerful developer in the city? Remember the 8 cities. So who's going to be most powerful? Obviously, with Mafia families are probably going to locate themselves in particular cities to get powerful. And of course, there'll be a chief developer there. Become the most influential developer in the city. Enjoy extra defense powers for your efforts. So you get a bonus for that. Only one user. That's really important. Only one user can have the city developer role. So that is going to be highly sought after amongst the players that are real serious about this game. A powerful role that is automatically given to the user with the most progressed land tiles. So if you're doing into development and you're a lot of property portfolio, this could be you, right? Could be like a Trump of New York kind of thing. All buildings have worth values, just like crate items. The more you own, the more powerful you are. Having one tile with a hotel on it is much more powerful than having 20 empty tiles. So just remember that. You should think twice about attacking a city developer. As long as they're in the city, it's possible for a single user to be the city developer of multiple cities at the same time. So maybe we might get some of these prolific developers going nationwide, right? So that could be pretty cool. We'll see how that goes. There's some other stuff about vault suspension. That's more things for the Don to think about. And of course, city inflation as well. This is an important aspect if you own a hotel or office building. So let's go back to those buildings again. If you own one of these office buildings or a large hotel, so we talked about the cost of getting those, something you might want to think about today if you are participating, because you can get the assets while the market's still sleeping before the launch of this game. That could be something you could think about. Obviously, do your own research, not financial advice. So that is the play for city inflation. This is going to be highly sought after. Another way of making income in the game. You will earn city inflation payout every 24 hours. So it's a daily payout. All visitors of a city needs a place to stay. Owners of hotels, offices, apartments, or mansions will earn a fixed amount of cash per 24 hours. So that's hotels, offices, apartments, or mansions. So let's go back to that one more time. And you can see some of those assets here. So office buildings, apartment blocks, mansion, hotels. So it looks like these top four, you could earn part of the city inflation, and people are staying with you as well, depending on the asset here. Make sure your buildings are in active operation. Otherwise, you won't earn any city inflation, and your defense values will be inactive. Keep your Mafia state together with your building to make sure it benefits you the most. So you will have to keep that Mafia state to make it active there. That also reduces the supply of Mafia in the game and helps push the price up, all things equal, right? If we get more demand and supply, let's say. So example values there. These are examples, so we don't know exactly what they're going to be. But office building, 25,000 payout, 24-hour payout. Apartment block, 50,000. Mansion, 75, and hotel, 200. So we'll actually see what those are when the actual map goes live there. Claim interval, 24 hours, and max claim interval, 7 days there. So getting paid is a big deal there. And of course, that brings us back to the deposit and withdrawals, right? So we're going to have money flowing in and out for in-game currency and other cryptos. Obviously, we've got all these other cryptos are accepted. So all the popular ones, PDDC, UFO, SolidX, they're all here as well. So just remember that. USDL stablecoins, PDI, EDI, all rich hard tokens, PulseX, Mafia, and of course, what else we got there? Teddy Bear. So all the very popular ones, PLSP, they're all here, and they can enter the game, and they're going to make the game stronger, right? So kind of cool there, and there's a 4.7% fee on that one. So this game is going to be pretty hardcore, and we are counting down the map 2 days and 18 hours left for that. It's going to be a big deal, and the price at the moment is still pretty damn friendly. Look at that, not even a cent at the moment. What's the market cap? Market cap of 1.1 million. So you do the math. I think it's going to be pretty kind. That's for Pulse Chain. For BNB, of course, we've got slightly different dynamics over there. We've got 20 families, not 22. But the directorate, once again, our family, I'm the consigliere of. The directorate allegiance is number one over there. Dawn of Dawn's Archipelago, and of course Max Payne in the leadership team for this directorate, which runs these families. The syndicate at the moment, number one over there. We've also got the Yakuza sitting at number 7. And of course the Illuminati, they're sitting at number 14. But these are going to move around a lot when the game actually starts ramping up, as well as the map getting launched, right? So it's been going to be fun. The other thing we're going to say about the players list over here, you can see the top players on BNB, Bob Tiller and others in there. And then, of course, it's got its own crates. So at the moment, I think 47.6 million Mafia remaining. So hardly any of that Mafia's been won. Remember, it starts at 50 million, so it's hardly anything. So that's still got a lot of value added there. What's the other thing we're going to say? The secondary market, same thing, $20, but different tokens, of course, BNB and stuff like that. Not Pulse Chain. That's not Pulse Chain. You can open up crates to get in-game assets, or you can buy keys, same way you can on Pulse Chain, get ready for the map, right? And you can get benefits depending on how much you spend. Like if you spend, get up, 2,000, that's getting 15% bonus. That's going to make a big deal, right? Because you could land on a hotel. That extra 15% could have a key that opens up a hotel, and then you're going to be, winning pretty quickly there. So going to be fun to see that play out. Now, the other thing, of course, is the secondary market's ticking away there. You will be able to buy and sell properties on there. You can see land slots is on the list. Nothing yet, though, because they're not available yet, but they will be there. You will be able to buy and sell land. So maybe you don't want to play the game. You just want to speculate on getting good land, and you've got a good land and development. You could sell that for some pretty pricey numbers. Some of the big Mafia families may be after that property, specifically if it's in their town, or maybe if it's going to be a thorn on their side over some enemies. So we'll see. But that is the play on that one. The Vault on BNB, of course, running 140k at the moment, 207 BNB, and we're expecting a lot more cash injection coming from the map and all the in-game economy. And of course, we've got the Hearts and Bullets tokens coming up too. So this thing's going to get pretty big, pretty fast. Multiple ways of earning, of course, not just the Vault, not just being in the top 5 families, but actually also playing the game, buying, selling, trading, earning, developing your character, all those sort of things. That's what the game's about. So those were rewarded. The Mafia game on BNB, of course, a little different in price. Also waiting for the game to launch, so just humming along down the bottom here. You can pick up a lot of tokens here. Remember, there's only 1 billion over there too, and a lot of them are staked, remember. So if you go to the BNB families, you can see the stake Mafia, 118 million in the Syndicate, 54 million in the OG Gangsters, 40 million in the Mugnails, 12 million in Black Thistles, and the Warriors 7.2 million. Now these ones are new families, right, that have popped up. Black Thistles, the Warriors, and that. So it's good to see new games, new influences coming in as well, covering this game. So there's a good number. We know on Pulse Chain, I think there's been over over a dozen influences, and I think maybe well over half a dozen, if not close to a dozen as well, over on BNB. So it's got some attention there as well. And being the first metaverse from Pulse Chain could be quite a big draw. So looking pretty good there, and getting in early, front running the speculators and of course the players. That could be a good move there. Now, what else are we going to say? Now, obviously, this is on BNB, so there's a different contract on BNB. Same buy and sell taxes. Those taxes, of course, feed the vault, and some of that goes to the vault player, and some of it goes to marketing and other things that are coming up for the game. So there will be a marketing budget in the game, and that's going to be really useful for bringing new players, promoting the game. So that's going to be neat. That's a relatively new announcement too. We're going to hear more about that coming up. So that is kind of the coolness on there. Obviously, there's lots of other details. I'm not going to go through all those at the moment. The one thing I will say, you can go through the exchange, got the deposit and withdrawal. You can read a bit more about that. It's got the vault, of course, the main payout there. It's got all the in-game assets, which will be earning money as well. If you've got these bullets and factories and everything else, you can buy and sell those now, of course. And the central bank. Let's not underestimate the central bank here. That's going to play a key role in managing in-game cash, the Mafia as well. So there's going to be stuff being destroyed, stuff being staked, all sorts of places. So a lot of variables, a lot of players, and we're going to see some pretty interesting movements in prices of Mafia, in-game currency, bullets and hearts are going to be tradable. It's going to be fun to see how this all plays out. So yeah, look forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be cool. All right, so and we may potentially be going on Base Chain and Solana depending on the time frame. We'll see. But at the moment, just we're looking forward to the launch on Pulse Chain and BNB. So that's kind of cool. You can obviously follow on Telegram and Twitter and join up to that for the official groups, both on BNB and Pulse Chain. But of course, we also have a backup site made by Archie Don called Mafia-HQ.com, and you can find a lot of stuff about how to play the game on here. It's an extra site there, and it gives you a lot of valuable information. And I post that as well. Let's post that one in. And bam, there it is there, Mafia-HQ.com. Check it out. And thanks to Archie the Don of Dons for posting that. Now, we've seen other GameFi metaverses around, right? So we've got the metaverse market cap here on CoinGecko. We can see the market cap at the moment is 12.2 billion for metaverses and games, kind of that sort of space. 2.2 billion volume in there, I think that is. Yeah, so some pretty crazy stuff happening over there. Top gainers, Pixel. Biggest loser, Sandbox, and Alluvium there. So we can actually see the rankings at the moment. Render at the moment, 3.8 billion market cap. Floki, 1.7. Sandbox, 1.3. And those are the three that are over $1 billion. Then we have two popular ones, Axie Affinity, which actually have games, not just development platforms. They're sitting at 971 million, and Decentralized Land Mana, 931 million. So we've also got Engine Coin, pretty well known from last bull market, at 400 million. So a lot of potential upside for the Metaverse GameFi side here on Coin market cap. Let's have a quick look at some of the price charts here. So obviously recently with the Bitcoin rise, we have seen a bit of a rally in Decentralized Land or Mana there as well. Now, they were last bull market, they were pretty hurt by the high gas fees, which shuts down Metaverse, but we won't have that problem on Pulse Chain, and unlikely to have too much problems with that on BNB as well. So that's kind of cool. And of course, looking at the interface, this is the interface for Decentraland. Find your work, explore diverse expense, etc. Sort of some of the stuff out there. The another big popular one was Axie Affinity. We can see that that's kind of moved pretty similar, maybe not quite as steep, but that has moved up in price with the Bitcoin rise. Not really had its big altcoin rally yet, which we're expecting to come up. And Axie Affinity there got the games in play, right? So they've got lots of more kiddish games, not like our adult Mafia game here. But that just gives you a little taster of some of the metaverses out there that dominate crypto, and Pulse Mafia looks like a really, really high quality game that's going to really rattle some cages here. Definitely be #1 GameFi on Pulse Chain, and also the first Metaverse as well. So is it going to be the only Metaverse this cycle? That's another question. So kind of cool. The other thing, of course, is not only can you earn by being a good player in the game and being part of one of the winning families and earning from the vault, but if you are a good trader, buyer and seller, you can work the markets, right? You can work the markets. People do that. And if you're also playing the game in the map, you can become a big asset owner, a big wealthy asset owner, and earn inflation in the game and other forms of income from players and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see that. All right, so that is a pretty highlight there of Mafia Metaverse coming up there. I think we've given you a lot of good clues about what's to do here. Once again, do your research, get involved. That's probably the way I look at it. Now let's quickly go to the family basics here on Mafia HQ, and I just want to go down to how to join. So if you want to join a family, you can do that. Strongly encourage you joining our families. There's no joining fee anymore, but there's a lot of perks to the upside for joining, and so get on there. If you do join up, say that Superman sent you. That's Superman. That's me, of course, and get involved with that. So let's pick up the directorate there. Now you can. We also have in the Hex Token Discord. We also have a private group in there as well, so you can join up in there. But if you want to join Telegram, this is the site to join. So get along, join up. It's only 2,000 Mafia, remember, to be a player. So once you set up play, only 2,000 Mafia. It's only maybe 50 cents a Mafia game, $2 maybe on Pulse Chain. Very cheap to get in there. So join up today, and you will meet the Capitacino, which is Max Payne and his team, who will onboard you to not only the directorate group of families, he'll allocate you to a family as well. But you can set up a player profile and get a lot of help there and get a lot of advantages in the game. Remember, we are #1. So you want to be with the winners, and that's all I can say. And not just the winners, we are the smartest and most feared players out there. And so we have been front running everybody. And game is afoot, right? Game is afoot. So join up with the winners, as we say. You can't get too sick of winning, can you? And you can play a big role in helping us win. So get in there and earn some good crypto, but have some good fun and good community time on the way. That's fun to play there. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. The Mafia game is coming. We've got the Mafia map coming. It's going to be pretty exciting. Looking at other stages, of course, in the game. We've got the Mafia map. That's stage #7. We then, after that, we'll have the marketing DAO come up. And we've already seen some little teasers on that. Then we're going to have pre-ranking come up. After that, then open for business is going to come up there. And if you're a business owner, keep an eye out for that. And then, of course, the raid spot's going to be popping up there. Communication's going to be up there. Direct mail amongst people. All the social stuff outside of the game is going to be ramped up dramatically. The kill simulator, obviously, killing is going to be a big part of the game. Obviously, it's just a game. But there will be kill simulators there, working out how to play, how difficult or easy or what you'll need to do kills, and as well working with others potentially. The vault requirements, of course, we're ticking away there. The pulse has already been hit. 5 billion pulse. The BNB is a work in progress, but I suggest that's probably going to start ramping up too. And then, of course, phase 15, the final official launch. So at this stage, probably fitting for Q1 launch somewhere in there, January, February, March. So that's probably where we're looking for at a launch there at the moment. So still during much the altcoin season. Looking forward to it. All right, so that's kind of the play there, but the Mafia map is coming up, and that is only 2 days and 18 hours left for that. You got to get your keys. So what do you do to participate? You got to have a player profile. That's going to cost you about 2,000 Mafia. You've got to get some keys, right? So you can join our family and participate in that, or you can go get them yourselves. Just go to the exchange and go to keys and put some money and connect your wallet up. You've got to have some crypto, and then you're going to swap that over for keys. You'll get those keys in your wallet. They'll show up in your profile, and then your player profile, and then you can go to the map. When the map opens up, there will be a place to do that. Choose your city, and you'll get allocated the land, random number generators, and the zone and everything else, and then of course your development stage. And good luck to you if you can get a hotel or something big like that straight out of that gate. That would be pretty awesome. Now, if you want to find out more details, of course, join the directorate, the most powerful Mafia family, and we plan on staying that way. And of course, we're sitting in a lot of the vaults. We control a lot of the vaults at the moment, so you can help us maintain that winning position. We definitely have the smartest Don of Dons, Archie, and we have a most incredible, talented Max Payne and his team for onboarding, so you'll have a good time there. And of course, I am covering it as well as the consigliere advisor to the Don of Dons. All right, less than 3 days, 2 days and 8 hours away. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in Discord and Telegram. I'll catch you there. Take care, everybody, and bye for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's play out this cool land grab video on the way out. Bye for now.